We all have foods that we know are bad for us, but we eat them anyway. They are, quite frankly, delicious. Like donuts, fast food, candy. Even though we know that they are unhealthy, most of us chomp down on them the first chance we get. However, recent research has given new insight into how our brains respond to these foods. Paul Johnson and Paul Kenny at Scripps Research Institute tested rats in the lab. The lab rats were given diets high in sugar, salt, and fat. The results were surprising and alarming. The rats' response to these foods was to become addicted to them in a similar way that other rats became addicted to heroin and cocaine. The rats' brains had released dopamine, a hormone produced mainly in a midbrain area called the ventral tegmental area. The VTA plays a big role in motivation and decision-making. Dopamine is associated with the reward system, which is a stimulus, usually appetitive, having to do with what you eat, that changes an animal's behavior. The other aspect of the reward system is that the probability of that behavior occurring increases. If all of those big words confuddled you a bit, then here is the simple version. When this certain chemical is produced inside of the brain, it changes the behavior of the animal that it is part of, and the animal will start doing whatever triggered that chemical more. What triggers the chemical is foods high in sugar, salt, and fat, and so the animal, or human, will get the impulse to eat more of those unhealthy foods. Thus, more and more of the junk food is eaten, and it becomes an addiction. Although this only happens in serious cases, the pleasure derived from the taste of junk food is from one's taste buds and the release of dopamine in the brain. Therefore, what we should really be striving for are foods that give us a similar pleasure and are good for our bodies. Otherwise, addiction could truly become a problem, and we get one of America's major issues today, obesity. But I'm not going to get into all of that. If a healthy alternative to junk food, like fruit, was chosen, addiction would not be such a concern. Although everyone's taste buds are different, and some might not like fruit, there is always some other thing, namely a balanced diet.